This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Welcome everybody to show 159 of Aussie Mac Zone, and I'm lucky enough to Garth next to me here, as you can see on the screen, with our wide-angle camera working a bit better again. So, and my notes are a bit messed up this week because my notes app kept crashing on my Mac this afternoon. I had two screens open, and I haven't been able to close one screen, and every time it opens, it just automatically sends it to Apple that there's something wrong, unfortunately.
Okay, well, at least you're giving them feedback, hey?
Yes, plenty of it.
Is that on Sierra? You're not trying to run, you're not trying to
that's
look
Sierra, yeah.
okay.
And notes, and shared from the iPad. It's working on the iPad, working on the phone. And I bet Aussie tech heads web hosting never have this problem. I'm sure that they don't. And that's who we're brought to again tonight. Thanks to everybody at Aussie Mac Zone with their fantastic little achievements there. And don't forget, they do
A segue like a pro.
domain registration, free setup, accepts PayPal, $5.95 per month when paid annually. How can you go wrong with that? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, have you got anything particular you'd like to get into tonight, my friend?
Oh, no, you just wind me up and I'll spin it.
All right, so let's start with this one, yeah. It's a bit hard for me to chop and change tonight. Some iPhone 7 devices making a hissing sound while under heavy load. As with most new iPhone models, there are bound to be a few launch day issues that emerge, most of which end up being minor in the grand scheme of things. Nevertheless, it's still interesting to note the various annoyances. Today, some iPhone 7 users have noticed an odd hissing sound coming from their device while putting the new A10 Fusion processor to the test. It was first noticed by Stephen Hackett of 512 Pixels, and then piled on by other podcasters. So I don't have one of the new phones yet, so I don't have the issue. What about you, my friend?
No new phone for me. No. And yeah, I heard. Let's hope it's not too many devices and something that can be fixed with a software update. It sounds like it is. To me,
Yeah.
I have. Have you been in and had a bit of a play with a 7, Michael?
No, I haven't had time to even think about that, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I'm sure you can get in time to think about it, even if it's when you're in bed. Just have a little think, Sorry.
That's unproductive. Thinking about something you can't do is unproductive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Good call. No, so I went and had a little look on the weekend, and even in your typical Apple store, which is immensely loud. It was nice to have that extra volume out of the speakers. You certainly did notice the speakers, plural rather than the singular. But yeah, unfortunate that not only with the extra volume you're getting this hiss when it's under high load. But let's hope, as I said, it's something they can fix easily enough.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get around to that one. And now our next one. Sorry about this. Here we go. The iPhone 7 outlasts the Galaxy phone, and this is not in the burning stakes, but in 35 feet of water and being dropped from a helicopter. So,
because that's what you're going to do with your iPhone, isn't it?
Isn't that what everyone does?
Damn.
So this was from 9 to 5 Mac. Earlier today we shared a pair of durability tests performed with the new iPhone 7. These tests showed that Apple has improved the durability of the new device compared to the iPhone 6s. Everything Apple Pro has conducted a deep water test to just see how far the new iPhone 7 can be submerged before it bites the dust. while another video shows the device being dropped from a helicopter, and the results are impressive. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are both IP67 certified for water, dust, and slash. I think they meant splash resistance. Under this, in the deep water test video, the iPhone 7 and the Galaxy S7 are both dropped at increasingly deep increments. The first step of the test drops the device from 5 feet. And when pulled out of the water after being submerged at 30 feet for 5 minutes, the Galaxy S7 is rebooting for an unknown reason, and the iPhone's new captive home button is freaking out. And in the end, the Galaxy S7 powers on and is functional. So both devices are tossed 35 feet into the water. The Galaxy S7 doesn't fare too well. The camera flash keeps going off, and the blue LED indicator on the front of the device lights up. On the other hand, the iPhone 7 is still powered as normal. For the first time, however, there are some notable water damage under the bottom half of the display. So yeah, like you say, that's what everyone does, but...
Being a little facetious there, but realistically, I mean, you know, any indication that it survives well through this thing means that, hey, when you accidentally drop it in the toilet, when you accidentally drop it in the pool, or you jump in the shower, no, I don't know why you'd end up jumping in the shower with it on you, but you know, when these accidents do happen, when you do drop it,
well,
it's just showing.
You won't need. Sorry to interrupt. You won't need Bluetooth speakers in the shower now. You can actually sit on the soap rack and
take it with you.
Rock on. Yeah.
That would be actually pretty cool, you know. Until it slips off the ledge and falls 6 foot onto the tiles. That would be another test of the endurability. Endurability? Yeah. We'll go with endurability.
Yeah. So, New Zealand had a lot of fun on launch day. So, they had a phalanx of mini robots were among the first in the world to get their metal claws on the brand new iPhone 7 when it launched in New Zealand. Thanks to the country's proximity to the international dateline, New Zealand got a few hours a head start on Australia's early launch, and the Kiwis weren't going to pass that up using robots to spruik the iPhone launch. It's not the first time robots replaced a human on iPhone launch day. Last year, one Australian woman used a telepresence robot. But in New Zealand this year, Carrier Spark used 100 Alpha 1 robots created by a Chinese company called UB Tech to stand in line on behalf of its customers. Each robot was controlled with a phone app and programmed to dance and move, and they also fitted out to live stream the queue. So yeah, they look very impressive. They're all lined up together, two rows of with phones on their front, and I gather they just walked in the store one at a time politely and got their phones,
got their brains replaced.
Yeah,
swap one phone for another.
So we have had our robot uprising, and they do queue politely. So yes, good to see them having fun.
Funny. It's a nice little promotional stint.
Yeah,
but you know, but bit of fun, hey.
Absolutely.
Now, New Zealand, they don't always get the iPhone on the first release, do they? So it's pretty unusual for them to get it on that first release.
Yes.
And we've seen so much flack. Apple has received a lot of flack about people having trouble ordering their phones, and you know, how can Apple get it so wrong and not make enough? And it's just like they're making as many as they can.
They were 500,000 short per country.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry. But yeah, just there are comments about the black not being available, or the jet black not being available. Also, the people that were on the what do you want to call it? The replacement,
the Apple upgrade, or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Apple upgrade method. There've been a few comments about that.
Yes.
And it is only the first year that Apple have had to go through that, so they've obviously learning from their challenges.
It's funny, I don't know if it was ever sold that you would get it on the first day. I mean, I wonder how many of them took it up on the first day. It'd always be at least 12 months from when you took it up,
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Yeah, well, you'd think so, yeah.
I did a similar thing with my own carrier. Well, the plan I have has that same sort of thing. I could take my phone in and upgrade for a 7, but then, you're setting off your contract again. You don't end up with a phone at the end of the day,
Yeah.
spare one. There's no phone to pass down the queue sort of thing. So I'm not gonna do it. But I would never have assumed that I would be able to get it on the first day. But I guess a lot of people had that assumption when they took up that program.
Well, I would assume that if you took it up on the first day, you'd be entitled on the first day, even if it's not 365 days. But I don't know. I've never read the contract, so.
Yeah. It probably just says 12 months, yeah. Interesting. Anyway, they will live and learn. And I think they are sort of taking stock out of the stores to try and fill some of those orders by the sounds of it, aren't they?
Yeah. So, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody is now a virtual reality music video. This is care of Engadget. We've all heard Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, and now, have you ever wondered what it looked like? Well, the folks at Google did, and in a new collaboration with Queen and in Gnosis VR, artists and developers at Google have created the Bohemian Rhapsody experience, a virtual reality experiment created to take viewers on a journey through frontman Freddie Mercury's subconscious mind. And that's a fancy way of saying they turned the iconic song into a 360-degree virtual reality music video. So, yeah, you can use Google Cardboard, which is the bit of fold-up cardboard. You can put your phone in and watch the experience looking around. I haven't actually watched it all, and it is very dramatic.
Is it?
Yeah, so a lot of work has gone into it, but it is, if you like Queen or you like VR,
Who doesn't love that song? You can't.
You can't not love that one.
You can't not love that song. But speaking of dramatic, have you seen the Apple teaser video for the phone, for the 7?
No, I haven't yet.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard enough talk about it. Apparently, it's all shot in black and white. It's only about 30 seconds long. You can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
But it's quite bizarre in that it's like pictures of owls and sort of very spooky and reminiscent of that movie, The Ring, apparently.
Yeah.
The occasional shot of the phone and the rain, stormy wet, thunder and lightning and rain on the phone. And apparently the owl spends more time on screen than the phone. No one's got a clue what the hell is that about.
Something else to look forward to.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
So there was a girl who picked up her new iPhone 7. She's a surfy chick. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for saying that. And she took her phone with a selfie down, got on the surfboard and went out on the beach at Bondi, and took some selfies, and somehow took videos of herself taking selfies. So she must have had a GoPro or something on the front of the board as well.
Yes.
And
very cool.
They worked. Yeah. So the splash part was working fine. And she didn't get wiped out in the bit you saw, but
yeah. Pretty cool though, hey?
Yeah, excellent.
I wonder how many people are going to try and, redo the same thing and lose their phones to the bottom of the ocean. Better don't float.
Oops, I dropped it. Yeah. She hasn't got a floaty on the stick or anything when she's doing it. So
yeah.
So anything special, my friend? You must have something
special. No, well, I want to find out. You said you have ordered. You're ordering a phone. Have you done this yet?
I haven't done it yet. No, I actually wanted to go down and have a touch and feel, but there's been some comments about the way the jet black feels.
My local Apple store didn't have any jet blacks. You couldn't. They didn't have any in yet at all
Yep.
to even have on display to have a feel, because I wanted to do the same thing.
Yep.
The haptic, the feedback on the home button I found was a bit weird.
Yeah.
I think in the context of a MacBook, or the MacBook, where it's something that's on the desk and you're just feeling through your finger the haptic feedback of the trackpad. That's one thing, but when you're holding the phone in your other hand and pressing the button, you really feel that, it feels like you're clicking in the whole end of the phone sort of thing, not just the button. Feels fine if you put it on the table.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're holding the phone and click it, you feel the whole phone is like you're clicking the whole end in. So that was a bit weird. No big deal. And that's something you get used to.
You got 3 settings on that. Do you know what setting it was set at?
No, I think it was pretty light.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to have multiple. You know how you can press on your normal touchscreen, like on the 6S now.
Yeah.
And there's different depths, sort of thing, for lack of a better word, that you can press to.
Yeah.
It sort of felt similar to that, like you were going down different layers. But I don't know that there is any such API, but that's sort of the sensation you got. It was very easy to make it trigger the haptic feedback. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, good. And
as I said, it was very loud. It was good, even in that really loud Apple store.
And you could find the button all right.
Oh yeah, it's just it still feels like a button. There's no, it's sort of a indented hole there, like it always has been. So there's no issue with feeling where the button is. You don't need to be looking at the phone to, put your finger in your pocket and feel where the button is, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just that, the sensation is a bit strange, but who cares really? It's not an issue to me, as far as I can tell.
And what do you think if they make the front one sheet of glass next year and the fingerprint reader on the back? That was one of the talks.
Yeah, I don't actually see them doing that, to be honest, but maybe they will. Yeah, wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can, the more bezel they can get rid of, the better, as far as I'm concerned. That phone is so big partially because there's so much space around the screen.
Yeah.
If they could shrink down the top and bottom, that'd be fine. I don't know. Did you? I had a bit of a play with a watch too.
Okay.
Well, a Series
2 watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice. I actually bought one home and tried to, talk my wife into it, but she didn't really want one. So, but I just wanted to have a play with it anyway, to have a bit of,
And you didn't take your old one back and say, "Oh, this is what you gave me by mistake" or anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't try that. My old one is aluminium, and the new one was gold aluminium. Might have been a bit hard to con them.
Damn.
Yeah. I played with it long enough to know that I do want to get a new one myself. The speed improvement just with that Series 2 chip was significant.
Yeah.
Having WatchOS 3 obviously does make a difference.
Yeah,
But
so there was one speed addition there, wasn't there? And then there's another one, another step up again.
Exactly, with the new processor.
Yeah.
I think the improvements you get with WatchOS 3 are more to do with the apps that you use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you go and try and do anything else, even Siri, I don't know. And I haven't. Have you noticed much difference with Siri's under WatchOS 3? I haven't really.
It's been a bit more accurate.
Bit more accurate? Okay.
Yeah, not perfect, but definitely more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. But just navigating the screen, doing all that sort of stuff, moving from in and out of apps and so forth, I found, was significantly better with the updated watch.
Okay.
But enough to make me feel like, I do need to get one. I didn't have any of the ones I wanted, so I couldn't just fulfill my my desires there and then on the spot. Probably, which is a good thing. But I'm looking forward to all this stuff. So what's holding you off on actually ordering, Michael?
Time to go and have a look.
That's right. You said you wanted to go and have a play.
Yeah, and I just haven't had time to get in there. It's a bit busy at the moment. And Sunday we had a party for my wife for her birthday, so that was all the Sunday out of the way. Yeah, so So yeah, that's the only thing that's stopping me is the time to go and have a look, and because I'm enjoying iOS 10, I'm enjoying WatchOS 3, and I'm enjoying Sierra. So except for this little notes issue I've had today, and as I said, that the Citrix receiver problem I had last week, which was easy to fix.
No, it's just updates of app
That's right,
updates, though.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I haven't run any of the betas of Sierra at this stage because I don't want to break anything there. So as soon as it's officially out, I'll upgrade.
I put it on my real machine first up. So
there you go. You did have confidence, didn't you?
well, it was either that or the podcast machine. I wasn't prepared to do it to that one.
Yeah, well, they are one and the same for me, so that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah. So another little story here we've got is Steve Jobs' widow is giving 2 LA teachers $10 million to start a school for homeless and foster youth. And instead of going to school, school will come to you. That's the prize-winning idea behind RISE, R-I-S-E, High, a proposed Los Angeles charter high school designed to serve homeless and foster children whose educations are frequently disrupted. So the way that if a student suddenly moves or can't get to school, he or she will have various options to get tutoring or the day's lessons, and the model exists outside the traditional confines of space and time. So yeah, you know what it's you can imagine the challenges of moving from one area to another in a hurry, and how do you get to school, or how do you get to the teacher, or those 15 different bus trips, or so yeah, the students receive personalised plans detailing what they need to learn, and tests focus on presenting schools as opposed to pencil and paper exams, and students can earn credits as soon as they've mastered a unit. So yeah, I wish them luck on that. That'll be good.
Yeah, sounds a bit like Netflix, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well,
watch it whenever you can get your schooling when you want in the order.
And the order you want it, yes.
If you want to binge on science, go for it.
So you can spend all this week doing English, and then all next week doing maths, and
so it's probably a little trite for the quite a useful initiative by the sound of it.
Yes, no, that's we don't know what school's going to be like in 10 years' time. So
no, that's exactly right, isn't it?
There might be just one teacher up the front and just caregivers in the classroom.
A whole bunch of those robots that were outside the Apple store, maybe.
Yeah, well, there's 100 schools there sorted.
Yeah. Each student's got their own robot who goes to school for them, see?
Yeah, they can be working in the coal mines, can't they, the kids? And the robot.
Yeah, the Minecraft coal mines, that'll be the only one.
That's the one, yeah. So, the things in iOS 10. Now, a couple of people have been saying, but the view when you lift it up's not working. That's because it's only from the 6S onwards. Yeah, because you need that. Was it the M5 code processor it needs for that?
Apparently.
But apparently, lifting it up, touching the home button, boom, there's my, for example, controlling my podcast on one of my phones that's plugged into the car stereo unit. It's there, just boom, pause, play when I get a phone call on the other phone. It's handy, not having to log in. Camera, very easy, just press the button, swipe to the left, and it's there. I don't have any trouble with that.
No, I think the main thing people are complaining about is having to press the button that second time to log in.
Yeah.
Obviously, is a setting you can change under your accessibility settings.
Yeah.
Arrest to unlock, having to press the home button so many times to get into their phone. Under iOS 10.
But when you got your fingerprint reader, like your thumb reader, it's just leave it there longer and it unlocks. It's not too big a deal for me, I must admit.
So you're having to press the home button again, though.
Oh yeah, but you don't really notice, do you? Like you
Well,
just go
you can
boom.
switch that off so you don't have to press the home button, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So with my 6S, I can pick it up. It unlocks, like it shows me the lock screen,
Yeah.
and then touch the home button, the fingerprint reader,
Yeah.
and you're into the phone. Haven't pressed the home button in once at all.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't. It seems to me it's along with a number of things. They're really deprecating the need to use the home button, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
as I can pick up the phone, touch the home button, touch the fingerprint reader, not press it, just touch it, and I'm into my phone. I've unlocked the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, your app switcher, with a force touch screen, you can just press the left-hand side of the screen, press it firmly on the left-hand side of the screen, brings up the app switcher. I don't know if there's any way of going to the home out of an app without pressing the home button at the moment, but there's a number of things like that where they're giving other ways of doing things that don't involve actually pressing that home button. So I think it all just sort of not points to, but it's probably partly preparation for the
Preparation
home,
for the next one.
for the next one where there is no home button. And that was always a thing that people, complained about breaking, isn't it? And,
The home button, that's right.
Yeah.
But if you're not using it, then we're not going to break it, are we?
Well, no, that's right. But yeah, I mean, so much you can do now without using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about what other things in iOS 10 are you having fun with?
I like the new mail.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite things about iOS 10 is the new mail app. The filters, customizable filters on your inboxes and so forth.
Yeah.
Really nice. Even the inline view of nested messages.
Yeah.
Of threads. I like how that works as well. That works really nicely. Other things I'm not sure. What I can't wait, like I said, until I get until I get Sierra working and shared notes on there. Because
working properly.
Working properly, yeah.
Yeah, they've been working fine. It's just that I don't know whether it's because I've got two screens I double tap a note and it opens the note as a separate screen. As soon as I did that, that's when it started playing up. So
yeah, right.
And I don't know why. It's very, very frustrating because I'm getting right into using the notes and the reminders. I'm enjoying the reminders as on my watch face. Right now it says in the middle 10 p.m. upload show notes, so to try and get me to upload the show notes for tonight.
Yep.
A lot of the day it says nothing scheduled. I'd like to change that, maybe have a way of changing it, because you can't currently change what the reminders it automatically goes to scheduled as opposed to say next or
particular inbox, or a particular
a particular grouping of my
reminders.
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I haven't actually used reminders on my watch yet since moving to that. I mean, I use my calendar on there. I have a work face on the watch and a home face.
Yep.
Obviously, my work face has the calendar app as a main part of it, and breathe app, so that I'm getting a bit too stressed. I'm only half joking there. But a few different things, like a recorder app, if I want to take a quick audio recording note sort of thing.
Yeah.
Got that on the watch, just press record, a nice little app. And then different stuff on the home face, yeah. And
it's handy having the easy way of switching between the two faces, like you say, so you can have a work one and a home one.
Yes.
And a weekend one, or if you're if you go to the gym, you can have your gym watch face, your work watch face, your home watch face, and your drinking watch face. So.
Okay, what goes on the drinking watch face? Sunrise and sunset, so you can see when sunrise is coming, and you've probably had enough now.
That just means it's opening time somewhere in the world, isn't it?
Exactly. No, I've got about I don't know, 8 or 9 watch faces set up, which I never use. Obviously, I use
Yeah.
the two most of the time. But
But it used
yeah,
to be a challenge to go through and do it. It only took 20 seconds, but now you just go swipe, swipe, swipe,
it
and
was
then
a bit. It's that much quicker, that little bit much quicker now, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like most things on the on WatchOS 3, that little bit much quicker.
yeah. All those little things. Yeah, there's a couple of little things like my weather app. Um, it's a bit frustrating because it only shows the expected high temperature for the day, not the current temperature. So I'll probably have to go back to using Apple's weather app because it shows you the current temperature.
It does. I like the weather conditions. So there's two different what do you call them, complications for weather for
Yeah,
the weather app. Now there's weather, the standard weather one that they always had, plus weather conditions. So it shows you the you know, rain and 35 degrees. Well,
yeah.
not 35 here, but 23, let's go with. So it shows you a little bit more information than the old just the number that it used to show you,
Yeah,
just the
but
current temperature.
yeah,
That's my favorite one now. All of my faces that have the weather on them have been changed to weather conditions.
and everything appears to be working quite well on it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Any future watch plans for yourself? You're happy with the improvements that you've got from WatchOS 3 for now?
I am at the moment. Yeah, I'd
Yep.
like to test that out for a while.
Yep.
I was looking at prices on. I was looking something else up for someone, but MResell, which is part of Macworld Australia, or some, I think there's some tie in there where they buy and sell second-hand Apple equipment.
Okay.
The prices were pretty good for various watches there. They're second-hand, of course. But yeah, after just getting my wife one and then Apple releasing all of that. Now,
Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. Wonder what a second-hand Apple Watch would first generation would be worth.
you'd be surprised. Their prices were pretty good. So that's what they were selling them for, not what they were buying them for. So
Yes.
the other thing that was interesting was I heard a rumor today, which we believe was from a pretty good source. And this is so. When are we getting Sierra? Next Thursday? I can't remember the date.
Something
now.
like that, yeah, in the next week or so anyway.
Yeah. So the same day Sierra drops, there'll be new MacBooks.
Okay.
As in probably MacBook Pro.
New hardware.
Yeah. And we think like MacBook Air, they'll be getting rid of the 11-inch and only having the 13-inch.
Crying.
MacBook Pros will be whatever they are.
Yep.
So yeah, and we believe that's all happening on that day. But we have to wait and see. Unfortunately, they might change their mind totally.
That's right. So interesting to have new Macs without an event, just as a drop, just as a media release or whatever.
Well, it depends how big the changes are, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's been so many rumours already now. Are we getting rid of the earphone plug in Macs?
Yeah, and that's a good question. That's one that would annoy me actually.
Well, they're saying the MacBook Pro, so many people use it for audio things that we can't get rid of it in that. They can't get rid of the iMac for the same reason. They're used for audio and video.
Even the MacBook, the newest machine they have that has a sparsity of ports.
Yeah.
Has one USB-C and one 3.5 mil jack.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that as a good sign that the headphone jack will last on a little bit longer, because I guess it has a few functions. It is a audio in, it can take a mic in, and it has a TOS link in there as well, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. People were commenting that they're saying that that's already been modified, because if you haven't actually got a separate microphone and headphone jack on that port, because it's got to be like, it's designed so you can use your headphones off your previous iPhones, for example, with your microphone in it.
Yes.
And I don't know whether anyone's actually made a splitter so that you can split up.
Yeah, you can get one. I've got one.
Yeah.
And the reason I have it is it's actually designed for the guitar. So you plug your guitar into your iPhone with any of those apps like AmpKit.
Yeah.
A nice little app. And it does exactly that. It splits the audio line in out from the headphone line out.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and there's a whole heap of those sort of adapters that will Y adapter to split the two out. And I have used it in my Mac as well. Works just fine. Well, it's just it's mechanical. It's a physical connection.
Yeah. Yep.
It just pulls that channel out from the other from the actual it takes a TRRRS and turns it into a TS and a TRRS, I guess. That way. Yeah. So
that's excellent. See that I hadn't actually seen one, but I couldn't imagine not being around. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just
but like I said, designed for a guitar. So you can plug your guitar into your iPhone. It's actually if you've got any guitarists out there listening to this, then you haven't got an app like AmpKit. There's a whole heap of them on the App Store. Definitely check them out. As I said, with one of these cables that you can pick up real easily. Basically, you plug your headphones into a socket on the cable. You plug the other end of the socket into your guitar, and the third end of the cable into your iPhone.
Yep.
AmpKit, and you can pick, whatever. There's all emulation of different heads, different cabinets. Say you've got a Fender head. They don't call it Fender, obviously. It's called something else, but and it'll be a particular head.
Fenderish head, yeah.
Fenderish head. There'll be a particular one, and whatever physical controls were on that actual head, it might have had, say it's whatever effects it had built in, whatever EQ it has on it, will be there available to change.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Then you can plug in different cabinets, which is, pick whatever cabinet you like and match it with that head. Then you can pick what microphone you're using to amp to mic the amp. Then, whether it's a Shure SM57 or one of the, heaps of them there. And then you can pick where you want the mic. Is it on axis, off axis? It's just an amazing amount, and is it as good as some of the, really expensive effects pedals that you can get? No, but it's really, really cool. and for 30 odd bucks, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and if you're just sitting in your room planning out your first bit of music, writing that first bit of the song, what's wrong with that?
No, yeah, absolutely. No, it sounds really, a lot of those apps out there, and worth having a play with.
Yeah. And what about Belkin got rid of the issue pretty quick about having charging and your new headphones going at the same time?
Absolutely. As we knew they would.
Well, we knew someone was going to do it pretty quick, weren't they?
Absolutely. There'll be a whole heap of those things in every configuration you could possibly want, I'm sure, in no time. Monoprice will have something. And
yeah. It's got to have a DAC in it. That's the only, it's got to be a reasonable DAC for doing the conversion. But other than that, I can't think of anything special.
But I think, for they're getting so cheap. The DAC chips are, and the quality of them these days are so cheap and fine enough. That $9, what is it, $12 the Apple sell theirs for, and I bet you it's as good as what you were getting in the iPhone anyway.
Yeah. And another one was I was worried about losing the new earbuds, AirPods.
Yeah.
But you can get a little plastic strap to go around them now to hold them. I'm assuming you got to take it off to charge it, the way that it sort of sits around that end of it, but it just joins them together. So if you're running or you don't drop them.
What I want is, how you can ping your phone, and now you can ping your watch as well.
Yeah, you want to be able to
I want to be able to ping the AirPod when it falls down in the grass, or
yeah, just make a sound.
yeah, just play something, just start beeping or something. Let me find you, because I really want to get my hands on those. They look really interesting to me.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
And they're getting like reasonable reviews about the time and the way that they work easily. The one that the complaint I was hearing today, well, the comment, not the complaint, is that you effectively you've got to use Siri to change the value or change the volume or skip a song or change track, which is hard to do. You don't want to be doing that at work all the time, going, "Hey Siri."
No, that's right.
Change track or whatever. Like, sorry everyone if I set that off. So little challenge like that. So.
Your volume, I don't. I'm always changing volume on my phone anyway while it's in my pocket. It's easy enough to feel depending on what sort of case I guess you have on it.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to feel where the volume controls are while it's in your pocket, just through your pants.
Through your pants. That's right. That's what they were saying.
That's pretty simple. But skipping tracks, that's probably a bit more of a challenge through your pants. And that's where the Now Playing app comes in handy on the watch.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit harder to get to than it used to be, probably. Now that you have to go through the dock and then open it rather than be able to have it in your what they used to call it? I don't think what they used to call it now. Where you just swiped up from the bottom to get your
complication.
No.
No. Oh, that's settings. Not the settings.
Yeah, they had the settings and all the apps, the mini views of the apps. They had another name for them. Wow, isn't that funny? Already forgotten.
So old school, mate. That was so last.
Yeah, that was so last week.
So last week.
Oh
well.
You can't remember them either, can you?
Nah, but I'm old. So
that's going to bug me now.
Oh well, you have a think about it while I just tell everybody just to go ahead and listen to Aussie Tech Heads Radio. Just look up Aussie Tech Heads Radio and you'll have a link there. There's lots of different ways of listening to it. And I think Glenn's trying to get our own iHeart radio station going, which will be the same information as Aussie Tech Heads Radio. So that will be awesome.
That would be very good, yeah. Glances, by the way.
Glances, yes. Thank you very much. See?
So you used to be able to have the Glance app. One of the, the Now Playing app was one of your Glances. So you could leave it on that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you swiped up, you'd be straight on that Now Playing screen. Whereas now you have to hit the dock button and then tap into your Now Playing screen.
Yeah.
If maybe you have to swipe to it, whatever. That's the same as Glances, but yeah.
Now,
still.
Another thing that I haven't tried is yet, but I just read that because it's 10 years that Apple have been renting movies, that apparently they've got specials going with movies at the moment. So if you go in and have a look.
10 or something I heard on one of the podcasts, but I haven't had a look yet. Yeah.
No.
10 movies for $10 US, obviously.
Yeah. So what's that, about 4,000 Australian, isn't it?
Yeah, 45 anyway.
Yeah. or half a barrel of oil or something going up and down all the time. So
it is, eh? Yeah.
So I don't have any more, do you? Or are we...
No. I think we need to have some tips for iOS 10 and Sierra tips, I reckon. We'll have to get that organised for next week.
Yes.
Yeah. And as for tech purchased, I haven't purchased. Well, I kind of have. I put an order in for a sports watch for a Nike, one of the Nike ones.
Oh, the Nike ones, yeah.
Yeah. Not that interested in the Nike over the normal aluminium sport per se.
Yeah.
But there's no difference in cost. It's the same price. Plus, you get that band that you can only get if you buy it that way.
Okay.
Even if it's not a band, I'll typically just use my Melanese anyway.
Yeah, and a couple of different watch faces.
And a couple of different watch faces, which once again you can only get by getting that watch. So you're not losing anything. You can. I'll still just put my Melanese loop on there anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of the faces I normally use. But might as well get, if you're going to get a silver aluminium or space gray aluminium watch anyway.
Yeah.
and you've already got your watch bands, there's no sort of harm in getting the Nike one instead, I think.
You could really freak it out and buy a real Hermes band to go on with the Nike watch face. That
would be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, get an aluminium watch and a Hermes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Done. We'll see if I let that order go through or not. But
yeah, just change it to Hermes. That's the way. Get off the Nike, back
porcelain.
to Hermes.
I'll go straight to the.
I'm sure your wife won't mind.
Porcelain instead of ceramic.
Yeah.
Go straight to the porcelain.
Are you getting one of the black ceramic ones where you just get the white one and paint it yourself?
Paint it yourself? A Nico?
Yeah.
Make it zebra, halfway there.
Yeah, there you go. So.
All right then, mate.
Thank you. Have fun, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. And
thanks for listening. Oh, sorry. Stepping on you all over the place.
No, go for it. Go for it. That's all right.
So thanks for everyone for listening. And talk to you next week.